Good evening, good evening. It's 7 o'clock. Ring the bell. Calling class to order. Oh my goodness me. Here we are, another week. As always, I got what I call a God card. And today is an interesting one. It says, we begin from completion. And on the back end, that's what I really like. I begin in wholeness. I work and play in wholeness. I finish and rest in wholeness, reminding us that we are whole beings. We're not bits, we're not parts. We are who we are at this particular time. Even though, as on the bigger soul sense, we may be more, in this life, we're whole. We're in this life, we are dealing with what we're having to deal with. I'm just trying to reorganize my desk here. Sorry, put my belt over there and work on from that perspective. So I want to welcome you and excuse me, my voice has been going in and out of sort of a hoarseness for several days. So hopefully I just keep having a voice. That's the main thing, I think. So anyway, it's been an interesting week for those of you may have heard already from Sunday Thought. We had a lovely channeling evening well, it wasn't evening, it was day. Sorry, that's misspoken. On Saturday, and some lovely and interesting information came through. And that's what I always like, because it's things I don't know too much about. And bang, there's some information that we can add to who we are and what we are. Anyway, we're starting here, and Marion has come in early and saying, good evening, Norma. My numbers are 2, 9, and 19. Looking for a prayer for my mind to be quiet at night so I can sleep. So we're going to start there tonight, because everybody needs to be able to sleep. And very often, I know when I don't sleep well, it's usually because my mind is somewhere. And so it's a good prayer to start with, I think. But let's talk about the numbers first, because it's about, but I'm very pleased, Marion, these are very different ones than you usually give me. So I'm very pleased about that. Now, number 2, it's like deciding. And number 9 says the answer lies within. And number 19 says we're wanting to move forward. One of the things that in the number 2 is that there is a lot of water behind, which is emotion. And I'm really drawn to that. I'm really drawn to the emotion of wanting to really, it's almost like dig deep into the feelings that are there as I listen to myself and move forward in the direction of where I want to go. But let's see what the mental mind treatment says. Big breath. I know that there is one power and one essence, and I also know that I can speak my word for Marion into the oneness, into the beingness of all that there is. And I know that very often at night, when one gets to go to sleep, the mental mind begins to come up and think and figure and sort out change, sort out direction, sort out a sense of being and where and what. And when changes occur within us, when we go through transition and bring out parts of us that perhaps have not been, I'm going to use the word exposed before. In other words, bring to the surface. It's as though we want to understand that more, and we want to understand how, so that we can proceed forward, except the forward proceeding will not be the same as the old, because the old was based on the old, and now this is new. The new awareness, the new feeling, the new awareness of being. And the key here, I feel, is to embrace the feelings of whatever they are without trying to analyze them or question them or sort them out. But to just, I want to say accept, but it's a different kind of an acceptance. It's a being at peace with how you feel and not trying to put it into a slot, not trying to make sense, not trying to have things be as they were. because this just shows a big change. And it's about deciding the change is okay. The change is good. And because the change is good, it is important that you sleep deeply, comfortably, and aware so that all parts of you can come into an alignment with the newness, the awareness, and the movement of where you're heading and where you're going. I give thanks in the knowingness of this. I give thanks in knowing that sleep is relaxing as you're becoming more aware of the new, the depth, the awareness, without having to try and figure it out. Just to be it, do it, allow it. Sleep is natural. And taking a deep breath and just allowing yourself to relax into the waters of life. Think of being in a big lake, being soothed very gently and easily, taken into the womb, you might say, or the bosom, or the depth, the heart of the earth, however you want to look at it, so that it brings relaxation and just pure joy. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it is done and it is complete. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Marianne. Okay, Karen, your turn. Karen, okay, what do we got here? Greetings, Norma, to you too also. 11, 4, and 14. And it says, thanks, my insight. Okay. It's funny. We just had a 2 starting off something. Now we got 11, the higher number of that. And the 11 really is about the commitment to the decision of whatever. But the 4 says, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to be. It's also a great procrastinator because it can worry. It can be a worrywart. It can see all the things that could go wrong. So when we make a commitment of the direction, what is important is that we put aside all our fears, anxieties, worries, concerns. Should I, shouldn't I, maybe, all the maybes. I'm seeing 100 maybes because the 14 says it is time to balance the new to move forward. It is time to be in balance. And I want to just talk to a moment to change because the first 2 that we've got here have a similarity. When we go through change, which we invite, which we want, but it means that things are not as they were. And so it can be unsettling. It can be unsure. So it might be exactly what you want, but it doesn't feel familiar. It's like getting a new pair of shoes. You want the shoes, they look good, but you have to wear them in. Sometimes when we make these changes, which we want, we ask for, we're happy, but we've got to get used to it because the vibration is different. So many people in this world don't really change. They'll do all these exercises, they'll do all the meditations, but they don't really scratch the surface enough to feel the deep change. You two that I'm talking to right now have done that, where you've gone deeper and the things are different. So it's like relaxing into that. And Karen, quit doubting. There's a story about doubting Thomas, who doubted everything, right? You get what you expect. You want change. You want things to look a certain way. But it's just like that new pair of shoes. You have to break it into one day. All of a sudden, it's like the old shoes. You know the shoes. You know how to walk with the shoes. Excuse me. You know how that shoe is going to be when you put it on. And so what I see here, Karen, is what you're needing is a little more trust in the process. To trust the process to move in the direction that you're going. Because right now, you're not going anywhere. You're making the changes, but you're not going anywhere. It's like you've gone and got your car all done up, but you haven't put it in gear. So let's see. I know there is one power, and I know there is one essence in all things. And I know that as I speak my word for Karen, that there is a welcoming of newness, welcoming of the desire of life as she wants, and a letting go of fear that it may not be consistent, it may not be forever, and all the other doubts and worries that go on. I also know that it's basically eradicating those, just not giving them any power, just letting them drift away into the nothingness. That then comes the balance of life and the fun of life and the enjoyment of life as you move forward with such delight, because you know and you're committed to what you want. So it's like let go of everything else that doesn't support that. Sometimes that's people. Sometimes it's old ideas that we've been raised with forever. Sometimes it's old beliefs. And sometimes it's just a matter of letting your fear go. Letting the fear go that it may not be true. If you feel it, it is real. If you think it, it may not be. Think about that. Feeling is real because your body talks to you through feelings and it's telling you how it feels. Thinking, we create. It helps us clarify. It helps us sense. It helps us know where we're heading. But we got to let go those thoughts that bind us because we're not sure that it's real. If you want it, it's real. And I know that as you accept and embrace that you will grow into being all that you want to be in this moment and any other moment as you move ahead. I give thanks in this. I give thanks in the knowing this, that Karen, you have done the work. You are there. So let the little gremlins disappear and get on with the balancing of the world in the direction that you want to be. And because of this knowingness, I am thankful, and I give thanks by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Very nice. Thank you. Maggie G. Hello, Norma. Yes, hello. My numbers are 7, 9, and 15. Just a second. I see people are coming in now. That's nice. 7, 9, and 15. No direction, just whatever you got. I get it. Good. Well, 7 is change. 7 is letting go of the past. Isn't this interesting? We're having a lot about letting go of the past tonight. It's funny because I was thinking it was the 18th, and pretty soon we'll be into the last 10 days of September. And it's an equinox. What is that? It's also equinox, I guess. I don't know. There's a change that goes on as we come into fall. Anyway, 7, letting go. 9, the answer lies within. 15, but we're scared of it. Okay, how can I say this? The need for each one of us at any particular time, and including you, Maggie G, when we want to change, to really look deep inside to consider consequences of that change. Because in making a change of perspective, loving, being, just plain awareness, means that something has to be let go of. in order, because we live in a life that usually is packed full, even if we don't think it is. It is packed full of beliefs, packed full of ideas, packed full of feelings. So now we want to change and we want to be more. So what do we let go of to be more? And what will that letting go bring about? Will it bring about more of what we really, really are wanting? It'll be different. And that's the key here, is difference. So this is why the answer lies within, in order to go inside and commit and not be in fear of being different, changed, or having the world look like it looks different. The world will look different. You may not even be able to tell you how it looks different, but it'll feel different. So it's got to look different. What is it? And people with analytical minds will want to go and figure out what that difference is. And that is the, what do you call it? That's where you fall down. Because now you're starting to rake up the old coals again. Because you really were comfortable back there, even though you really weren't. You thought you were. Or it was familiar. I can't believe this. There's three very similar patterns. Must be the night for it. I'll have to take a look at that myself later. Letting go the old pattern, moving into the new one without fear, without a sense of you don't not being in control. I feel with Maggie G, I feel there's a little sense of being scared of not being in control. Hey, how much are we in control of anyway? Only how we respond. That's where our control is. How do we choose to respond to things when they come up? And we got to wait till they come up to figure that out. You can't have that figured out before. What you can, though, is figure out inside how the depth and how the feeling is and how you feel about how you want to be, so that you can begin to make decisions and ideologies and awarenesses that support how you want to be and embrace. I think I've used that word already tonight. Embrace the newness. We can be fearful about what's coming. We can be uncertain about what's coming. But what does it give us? What does it do for us? Or we can look at it as opportunities to become who we truly are. You know, I've talked a lot about my garden. It's outside here and not being so well lately. My lady next door has been watering the plants for me so I still can enjoy them. And I just found out today she's moving in a week's time. But anyway, that's another whole story. But it's like the flowers now are becoming towards the end of the time. Plus, the little deer wanted to come around this morning and start chewing, not so much on my flowers, but on next door neighbors, because they know I go out and tell them off, because I protect my flowers. Are you protecting the flowers within your life of what you want to be? Or are you allowing yourself for them in there? Because it's getting time soon. We'll have to put them to bed because the ground will start freezing eventually and they have to go. What do we have to clean out? What do we have to let go of that stops us from being magnificent? What is our magnificence? What is the essence? How can we move forward in the fullness of who we are if we don't let go that which we don't really desire anymore? As I speak my word for Maggie G at this moment, and as I move into the proness of being, I know there is one power and one essence, and it's right there. And it's breath at this moment. To breathe in the power, to breathe in the love, to breathe in the beingness of who you are, and putting your head up and looking out at how far you can see your majesty go. How far does it stretch? How far do you embrace your world? Do you embrace it small? Do you embrace it medium? Do you embrace it big? And don't pretend if you might not be big as you think. Might be smaller, might be whatever. But to know the power that you have within you to love, to experience, and to move forward. And let all the other thoughts about it either not working or not being enough or not being something go. There's no not in growth. There's no not in love. There's no not in accepting yourself for who you are and knowing you are more and that you can achieve more. I give thanks and knowing for Maggie G that it's all there. All she has to do is embrace it and be it and just love herself immensely. And it's okay to love yourself immensely, for you are precious, as each and every person on this planet is precious. And so I just give such great thanks in us being reminded of that as we release this by saying, and so it is right now. I have tears coming in my eyes because tonight I was having a conversation with a good friend. And we were talking a little bit about how certain people these days don't seem to appreciate people as people anymore. You know, just a digit or a number or something. I don't know. But when you feel the magnificence of each one of us, how could you even think that? So thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing us to remember who we truly are. John, welcome. And 10:21:3, future efforts. Like that. Yeah, future efforts. I just have to get this off the top of my head so it's not there. But tomorrow I go for my first radiation treatment on my arm. And yeah, future efforts. That's good. Thank you, John. Perfect. 10:21:3. Oh, change. You know, when change happens, we have to be the center. And the 21 is that beautiful balancing of all that center with the outside and the inside, the up and the below, above and below, so that the love can be experienced. And that's what I get here, is that you're at a point of developing, enveloping the majesty of you. And this time I feel like my feet are flat on the floor. I'm not just up here in my head. I'm feet are flat on the floor. My eyes are looking out, and I'm embracing all that it is, because I am the key for my life. I am the center of being. For I know, and it comes into balance through love, through awareness, and through joy. So as I speak my word for John on this particular day right now, I know, just as that symbol said in the beginning, I begin in wholeness, I work and play in wholeness, I finish and rest in wholeness. As we begin, the beginning says we begin in completion. We begin our lives, we end our lives in completion. But we want that joyousness of love to fill us. So we radiate into the world, and it radiates back, because there's a part here, and that's that balance to allow back the goodness that is there, not just putting out. If we put out and put out and put out, we begin to feel a little depleted one way or the other. But if we allow it to come in, we feel full and great and essence. I give thanks in knowing that John has reached and come to this point of being in alignment and recognizing he is the core of his world. And because he's the core of his world, the love just grows and comes into essence of all time. I give thanks in the knowingness of this. I give thanks in knowing that John proceeds forward with love, light, understanding, and it's like an immersion into a new realm of understanding and being. And I give thanks for this. I really do. I give thanks by saying, and so it is. So it is. And so it is. And personally, John, thank you, because it so speaks to me also for myself when it comes to tomorrow. Thank you. Appreciate that, my friend. Okay, hang on a minute. I just got to find everywhere else. Am I going here? Got it. Oh, Kayla. Kayla, we're going to be here really well tonight, but looks like, because that looks like I'm a bit of chatterbox too. Kayla. Okay, my numbers for tonight are 8, 17, and 6 for continuing healing and whatever is needed to resolve these conditions. So healing and resolving. I see where the issue is. We've got a lot in here about balance, and yet at the same time we have confusion. Let me talk about balance for a moment. When we are on a spiritual path, sometimes what begins to happen is we know, because we're taught to aspire above, to bring into the world here. But there comes a point where we not only use it as a, you might say, an intellectual guide, but we bring it in and we become it. We become what we know. And we fulfill ourselves within ourselves. And when it comes to giving to others, we don't give everything. We don't give everything because we have to look after ourselves. I think those of us that have walked the spiritual path at some point or other in the way of giving and doing, we have done that and realized that is not the answer. The answer is for you to be balanced within yourself energetically, that you, as you give out, that you refill. It's like you've got my glass of water here is what, half full, approximately. The jar for yourself needs to be full. So when we give half away, that we fill back up. And why I see this here, Kayla, is because of how I drew the 8, to be honest, because it's not balanced. And it's about taking the energy and putting it into the world. If you're giving your energy all away, you can't replenish. There is a time, people say to me, oh, you're still working and I say, I'm doing my shows because it gives me something. I love them. I love what I do. I wouldn't do it. Fills me back up. It reminds me what I'm really here for. It gives me a sense of knowing. But when you're giving out and giving out and giving out, after getting out, you get tired and tired and tired and tired. Then you get into mental confusion or physical confusion or whatever you want to call it. Then you begin to lose sense of what it's all about. And you get left with a whole lot of, I see them as strings, like, oh, there's this, but you're supposed to do this, and there's no supposed to in love. Love is loving. Loving to me is acceptance, as it is. When you're dealing with people, sometimes you just have to accept this is who they are. You can't change them. They are who they are. And that goes with ourselves. We have personalities. We have our own idiosyncrasies. We have things that we prefer to do to other things we don't prefer to do. So when it comes to our own healing, we have to really look at what's not in balance. This is the word for you tonight, my dear. Balance. I'm trying to figure it out. Just what is in balance. So my prayer is around balance, because that's going to resolve the issue. I know there is one power and one essence. I know that love is everywhere. And I know as I speak my word for Kayla at this moment, that there is a coming together of a balance of energy on many different levels. It's just not one level. It's just not physical, not mental. It's not emotional. It's not spiritual. It's all of them combined. Reminds me of a Rubik's Cube, trying to put it all together. I never was good at that game, but it's like getting everything aligned. You need alignment into all the different parts of you for what it's all about. To heal and resolve will require a balanced system. And in that balance, there'll be times when you need to say no, because it is not in balance for you to do this, that, or the other when you're working at just being at peace. Being at peace without anything else to do but being at one with yourself and the lovely force of love and the peacefulness that brings. I know that as Kayla takes that opportunity to give herself time to not worry about all the bits and pieces, but just to come into harmony, to come into balance, to come into the awareness of peace and love. I've got to write that down here. Then the answer will be so clear, it'll be crystal clear. I give thanks in the answer becoming crystal clear, and the peace and the love that is there is in balance 24/7. And I release this thought knowing that it's true and done by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. I think we're still on, right? Karen says, "Thank, very accurate and very, very spiteful." Thank you, Karen. No, just do. I'm going to be mama. Go do what you're supposed to do. Ishika says hi, or hey, thank you. Karen Lee Eklund, Norma. So, okay, hang on. Let me write my things down. I find this so much easier with my brain sometimes forgetting things these days. 7:21. What do we want here? Hang on. There's that little arrow there that I'm trying to get rid of a bit. There we go. Oh, I was just talking about peace. I don't you just love the synchronicities that happen sometimes? Oh, become synchronicity. Karen Lee, there's so much awareness and knowledge here. But there's change also. You see, one of the hardest things for us, I think, is to accept a lot of the changes that are going on outside in our world. The air is buzzing, the old, the new, it's all buzzing. And it's very important for us to remember that we continue being what we know is correct and real. And letting go some of the expectations we may have had, letting go of, kind of like, well, shouldn't we have this? Shouldn't this happen? So a little the shoulds coming through, I notice as I'm speaking. So all the shoulds go. That's one of the things that have to go. It is what it is. You cannot make a decision to move further into anything until you accept totally where you're at. I think you've done that. I think you've got balance. But now the change, how do we take that balance and awareness and joy and all those peacefulness that's there and move it forward away from what has been? And that sometimes means looking with, where's my magnifying glass? My detective glass that I sometimes need. Look at with your magnifying glass and ask yourself, does this bring me peace? Does that bring me peace? Does this give me more peace than that? Or maybe there's another component that gives me more peace than either. I think if you're looking for peace, you need to look for it here when I see this. You've got so much that's imbalanced and you understand it, but it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? Be it. You never heard that word, be it? There was, I think, I don't know, was it Nike that did that? Be it. It's a good phrase to use at the moment. Be your peace. If you're feeling conflicted, take a look at it. What is it that's creating the conflict? Is it your feelings? Is it emotion? Is it what somebody else is doing? That's their business. Let everybody be in their own stuff. You be in your peace. So knowing that, let's see what our treatment takes us. There is one power and one essence. And in that one power and essence, we're all connected. And as we're connected, I speak my word for Karen Lee. And as I speak my word in Karen Lee, I feel my face breaking into a beautiful smile because there's a bubble of peace and understanding and awareness that is right there. And it's like all I have to do is step into it and allow it to come all around me and be. It's like being in a lovely warm hot tub somewhere. You just step into the hot tub and you feel the warmth going all through you. Peace is everywhere. We talk a lot about love, but really that peace that passes understanding is also there. That acceptance of who we are and what we are and where we're heading and what we're doing. It's like not out there, it's in here. And you have it. No more shoulds. No more, it should be like this or it should be like that. That's just the brain trying to say something. Be the peace. And that might be a challenge at times. How can I be peaceful? Because if you're like me, sometimes you get frustrated and angry and you go, oh, but that's not peaceful. Sure, who said? Maybe all it is letting go some steam so the peace underneath can come out. Repressing anything, denying anything is not healthy. When you deny because you don't think it's right. If you're feeling it, it's right, because that's your body is telling you. You're really upset about that, you know. Okay. Can you willing to let it go? A lot of people are not always willing to let go. Oh, but I want it my way, or it should be this way, and a lot of judgments go on then. But I know for Karen Lee, you've got it all there. You've got it all there. Just be it. Remember that. Be it. And I give thanks in knowing that be it right now is your motto. Be the peace. Be the love. Be the forward movement if you need to be. Be the balance, because that's what you really are right now. You've got it all in balance. Now it's a matter of moving forward with it. I give thanks. Love you lots. Thank you. Okay, turning my page over. What is that? Okay. Ishika. 1 minute here. 3, 5, and 12. I know I might not pronounce your name exactly right. I couldn't sleep well because I've so much activity in the dating domain. Well, that is just an issue. Can you please send some treatment for that? Well, I can tell you, when you've got a lot of issues, whether it's in the dating, whether it's in whatever, get a piece of paper, write the name, however many there is, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, it could be 10. What are the main points you like and what are the main points you don't? I write a little book, and in the middle of the page when you're trying to figure out things, like you write, you put I actually should get the book out and reread it, but it's probably right here beside me somewhere, right there. I'm looking at it actually. But you write down the pluses and the minuses. You can't work it out in your head, I'll tell you that, when it comes to dating issues, relationship issues. You got to look at it in black and white. You got to make a list. What works, what's not working. Because what you got, no use being somewhere where their not working level is not working at all. It's not going to change. People do not change. We change. We can change. Other people, they're other people. And that's where in issues and often in relationships, I find is we want the other person to be what we think they should be. And who do we think we are, really? They are who they are. If you do not like them, bye-bye. And get very clear on what you do like. And when I look at this is that you're looking for love. And there's a saying that says looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking and needing more information. You're needing to look to find, and it's like you can't find it because you're looking for the incorrect thing. You're looking for someone to accept you for who you are. And that begins with you. That begins with you accepting you who you are. You can't expect someone else to accept you and love you for you if you don't do it. If you're not 100%, that's often when you're first young. I remember I look back and two people come together and they work on that. They work on that so they become individual, loved for themselves and for the other person. And trustingly, they can stay together through all the ups and downs that relationships bring. Now, so with these numbers, I really want to do Not so much all the issues that are going on, because the sleep shows, I've talked a lot tonight about sleeping and the mental. You got to get the mental out of there. Love yourself, accept yourself, feel good about who you are. All you're doing is just going over and over it's like over the same things. Now, I'll agree lately, a lot of people have been having a little bit of sleep issues as the changes are going on out in the sky. But same point. What I see here is an acceptance of self and an awareness of who you truly are. So my prayer for you is that you get strong in the knowing of who you are and let everybody else take care of their own issues. You're not here as a savior. You're not here to make sure everybody else knows the right answers. You're here to be you, to accept you, to love you, to care about you, and to bring yourself into an understanding and acceptance that you are part of the whole. And so that the person who wants to meet with that and match with that can come and work with that. It's just all too individual to me. There's not a coupling. There's not a coming together of two people who care. So I would really like, from my point of view, is you to have a little bit of take stock in your life and allow that take stockingness to really enter into you so that you can make a decision that suits you and that you can grow and that you can become all that you truly are. And I give thanks in the knowing of that the support is there, the love is there, the care is there, but you've got to get out of your own way. And I give thanks for knowing that, and I give thanks for all that there is. And I'm just going to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God, out there. Bring clarity to this girl's head. And thank you for keep coming back, Isha, and you will get it. You will understand it eventually. And she says, all the best here. Karen, he says, wishing you all a good day, very best tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be an adventure. Maggie G, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, where am I here, Lisa? Lisa, where? I lost you. I'm going to find you again. Hang on a minute. That must be up further. Sorry, the chats get a little long sometimes, and I chat along. Got that. Marian says, thank you so much, Norma. Blessings to all. Oh, I don't know where I saw that name. Anyway, Kayla says, thank you, Norma. She says, it's not about a person for me. Dating just causes me anxiety, and that anxiety either makes me avoid dating. Well, go back and listen to what I actually said. You'll get the truth in that, sweetie. It is what's going on. If it makes you anxious, you're not where you're supposed to be. And anxiety, as I've said many times, and you've listened for enough weeks to know that, it's what we create in our head because we're not thinking effective thoughts. We're not thinking thoughts that are bringing effectiveness to who we are and what we are. And that's what's really very, very important. And if you would like, I have a little book I'm quite willing to email to you. So you can always email me, norma.cowie@gmail.com, and ask for my book that I promised you. And it's got lots of little answers in there. So I'm very happy to do that for you. Thank you. Yes, you email me, I'll send you the book. And you will find, I'm sure, some answers. Okay, I think that leads us to the end of tonight. Hey, we went late tonight. It's because I'm such a chatterbox. There we go. 7:45. 45 minutes tonight. And I didn't have any written down because I haven't really been digging. But I will say this. If you are interested in what your guide wants to say, you get on my waiting list because I've already got up to 3 on my waiting list for next month. Obviously, we're doing one again next month. It blows me away every time. Some of the information that comes through for people, some of the information that happens and goes on. Thank you, Lisa Marie. I thought I saw you. I'll go back and see if I can find you. And then I went back to find you. There you are. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, Lisa Marie. I'm so glad. I knew I had to keep talking. I didn't know why. See, I just listen. Okay, 2, 5, and 7. And thank you for hanging in there, reminding me that I did miss you because I went looking for you, couldn't find you. There seems to be some resistance within my family, specifically between my son and, okay, 15 years old. Oh, I remember my son. Actually, mine was more with my daughter at 15, not my son, but anyway. Okay. Oh boy, I remember those years. Let's have a look here. What numbers have you got? Lisa Marie. So there's a decision that you're needing to make here about this, I think. And for some reason, it's like you're needing more information so that you can let go whatever is the big problem to move forward. Lisa Marie, you know something? What I'm going to ask for you. Now, tomorrow I'm not around, but Wednesday I believe I'm around. Yes, I am, after I do Norma Talks. So anytime after 10 o'clock Wednesday morning, if you could phone me, I'd like to look at this more directly, if I may, if that would work for you. My phone number's on my website. And if you're on my mailing list, it's in the newsletter. Because what I see here is going to take more than just one treatment right away, and because I got to look at both of you. I got to look at you. I got to look at Zane. I've got to find out where this area of contention that I see here, because some changes have to be made, and they may be. I have to talk directly to you, or you might have to just accept where he's at. But I would like to look at this, and I'm willing to do that free for you because it's the only way I can really see help. In the meantime, my prayer for you is knowing that the power is always there for all of us, that it gives you peace, it gives you a sense of understanding, and an allowing for you to be comfortable in the setup of where you are at. I just feel that the tension needs to leave and go, so there's a bigger acceptance of what is. But I give thanks in knowing that for yourself, Lisa Marie, is a sense of purpose and enjoyment and love. If you can phone me, email, or even email me, I'll give you, we can, with a time on Wednesday after 10 o'clock, we could talk. I can give you my Zoom number then, and we can talk that way, or we can talk on the phone. Okay? I trust that will work for you. So, same with, I'm going to get you a book. Anything else? Wish you well. I will be, as far as looks like, everything will be fine for Wednesday morning at Norma Talks. I should be back in time to do that. I have something I have to do before that. But I will be on. And then again on Sunday. Wishing you well. I'm so glad you support this. I really do. It makes my life so much easier, especially right now. I give thanks, I give love, and I just wish you all the very, very best. Have a great day. And for those of you that I've said, please get in contact with me, I'm serious, do so. Thank you. Night now.